I brought together 5 experts on topics like Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and personal branding, and I asked them one simple question. What are the most important and actionable things that someone should be doing right now to get clients as quickly as possible? And they did not disappoint. They've collectively generated millions of dollars with these strategies. And so in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what they told me and my audience so that you can follow along step by step and find clients immediately from these platforms. So let's start with Instagram.
Let's just get straight into it. Our mission is to get leads, right? That's why we're here. I was talking earlier about, obviously, the paid method, which is, again, ad to webinar to then book a call, okay? I've got news for you guys. Ads are getting more expensive. The more you spend, the more they cost, but also just generally, they're getting more expensive. 4 or 5 years ago, they were a lot cheaper. So you need to have other avenues of bringing leads in, okay? Now, there's 2 methods. There's the Instagram method via the organic, which I'm going to be talking about mainly, but there's also one other one as well, which I'm going to mention, which is what I call squeezing every drop from basically the paid leads, which you're paying for anyway, and basically making that bit work, okay? So, cracking straight on, the organic side of it, so the platform that we're using is Instagram. And this is relatively new, like we're only doing this from the back end of last year. And the mission is to get people into the DMs, okay, getting them into chats. And we're basically having the same chats with them that we would have on the form that they would complete before you would have an actual call with them. What's your goal? You know, what have you struggled with? What have you tried? These kind of things. And then we're getting them booked in on a call to basically see, you know, if we are a good fit for them, okay? Now, to get people into the DMs and to find the people, there's 2 methods. One is the content, okay? So the content that you're posting out there. And then the other thing is using other people's audiences. Again, I'm going to mention that one in a bit more detail shortly. First of all, the content, okay? Now, I used to always think with content, don't give away too much, right? Leave them kind of thinking, yeah, but I need the next bit from you, Fez, so I'll book a call in with you. That doesn't work anymore, okay? People can find out. There's ChatGPT and there's so many coaches and whatever. They can find out, okay? One rule that changed everything for me and the quality of my content is the £5 rule, okay? This is basically where make your content so good that somebody is willing to pay £5 for it. Not 100, not 1,000 or anything stupid, just £5. If somebody thinks, you know what, that is so useful, and if I implement that, that would actually make a massive difference. Yeah, I'd pay five quid for that. Use that rule. It changes your whole mindset when it comes to content, okay? And then every piece of content that you do use, every single like, every single comment, you then message them straight into the DMs. Hey, I noticed that you liked my piece of content on X, Y, and Z. Can I just ask, are you here for the content, or are you trying to lose a bit of weight? You know, or if they message on something, again, hey, I noticed you messaged, and you basically start that same script, okay?
Hey, real quick, if you're enjoying this content and you like the idea of being in this room, we have our next AdCon conference coming up here real soon at the end of April. It's happening here in London. We have some incredible speakers. We have some unbelievable plans for you. And the experience in this room is unlike anything you've seen before. So if you want to come and learn what's working right now in 2026 to grow and scale your business and do it surrounded by like-minded people that get you, your mission, and what you're trying to achieve, the details are at the link in the description box. But be quick, AdCon 2026 is happening April the 28th to the 30th, and I hope you can come and join us.
Now, the other really good thing about content, if it's good, you can boost it. Okay, and Instagram will tell you if it's good or not, okay? An example of this is one content that I posted relatively recently, which was all talking about, you know, menopause and what you should be doing when you're menopausal. We literally boosted it for £5 a day only, okay? So like I said, before boosting it, Instagram told me that actually this is getting quite a lot of leads and quite a lot of, sorry, not leads, likes. So I thought, you know what, let me put £5 behind it. We're getting 30 new followers per day from just this one piece of content that I'm boosting for £5 a day. Every single person, we're messaging, hey, I noticed you like my content, you know, are you here to lose a bit of weight or just, you know, browsing? Every single one of them, okay? Now, the other method of getting people into the DM chats is using other people's audiences. This, if you get this right and you find the right person, could be massive, okay? So the method is this. Number one, you find somebody with a big audience, at least 10K, okay? Obviously, the more people they have, the bigger their audience. That's going to help massively. But the bigger the audience, the harder it is to get a response from them, okay? So the sweet spot is like 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. They're really good, okay? Because they're much more likely to respond to you, but they've also got a really big audience, that you can use. So you find someone with a big audience. Number two, you offer to coach them. You say, hey, I've got this 90-fit plan. What would your thoughts be on if I put you into my plan and I coached you? They, in exchange for that, they post about you a couple of times every month, right? So every 2 weeks or so, they post about you, hey, I'm doing this plan with Fez. It's working amazingly well. Every single like on their post, every single comment on their post, you're going to message them. Even by them just posting about you, you'll get a load of new people following your account just because they've tagged you in it anyway, okay? Do you want to know something really, not embarrassing, funny? Sarah Davies, who's going to be speaking tomorrow, my team messaged her. She blanked us, guys, like completely blanked us. So I'm going to have a word. Anyway, so this is massive. And if you get that right person, there's another PT that I know who's doing just the Instagram model. They literally have grown their business to £20,000 to £30,000 a month just from finding one really, really good client that had a massive audience. From that one client, they've literally got an entire business. Okay, so getting that right person is massive. Now, the next thing, what I call squeezing every drop from the paid traffic. So like I said, if you are doing paid ads anyway and you're getting paid leads, the normal method is this. You get a lead going onto your landing page, going on to watch your training, okay? Now, what would normally happen is that lead would go on to enter their name and their email address. What we now do, and some people might be doing this, previously we weren't. I've literally only started doing this in the back end of last year. We now force them to put down their mobile number. I thought, again, that it's going to have a massive drop of, the cost per lead is going to go massively high. It didn't make any difference at all. And we now force them to. No phone number, they can't proceed. So what we do, there's two methods. One of them is basically we call them 2 days after they've opted into our training, okay? So we just say, hey, you signed up to watch our training class. We noticed that about 7 out of every 10 people hadn't even watched that training. So we would have a team member call them out and say, hey, look, you signed up for it. They say, sorry, I didn't even watch it. You say, okay, what if I condense that down into 5 minutes for you, tell you all the key kind of points, and then they try and get them booked in on a closer call. Bear in mind, you're paying for these guys anyway, okay? So it's not costing you anything extra. The new method, though, that we're using, and we've literally been doing this for the last month, and results so far have been really good, so try this. So you get your lead, they opt into your training, again, put their details down. Can I just check, have you guys heard of Zapier? Yeah? It's like this machine that does kind of automations behind the scenes, okay? And you guys have heard of Slack, yeah? So what happens now, we've got a Zap that for every new lead that comes in, it basically sends us a Slack message immediately, like straight away. It pings on my phone and also Oscar's phone, the guy on my team. He then calls them straight away, okay? Their intent, because one thing that we thought is, their intent surely is never going to be as high as when they first just clicked on that ad. They were scrolling, they thought, actually, this makes sense. Let me engage enough to at least put down my contact details. Oscar's been calling these guys, and genuinely from this, 4 or 5 calls a day, okay? And again, you're paying for these guys anyway, okay? And obviously, there'll be some people that say, no, I still want to go on and watch that training. So yeah, absolutely fine. There's others that, literally will get booked in and will literally enroll onto the coaching plan without having even watched that training, as long as they're explaining the key takeaways from what you do and how that works. Now, got 2 minutes left. So, since January, using these two methods, the Instagram method and the calling the leads method, this has been responsible for literally half of my company's income since January, okay? And like I said, the best bit, it doesn't cost anything. You're paying for these leads anyway. The Instagram side of things doesn't cost anything, just a bit of time. And like I said, with all the AI stuff, I'm gonna massively use that. It's so easy to create like really good content now. So post every single day, use that content, doesn't cost anything, just a bit of effort, okay? So yeah, that's pretty much everything. Use these 2 methods. It can massively boost your business. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Give it up for Fez. All right. So we're going to keep the Instagram topic going because now that we've talked about how to monetize Instagram, our next speaker has got some strategies, some would say peculiar strategies, I'm sure we're going to talk about them, to grow the account and then get more reach so that you can do that stuff that Fez just shared with more people. So without further ado, please put your hands together for Phil Harris.
Thank you. Okay. This actually isn't on the slides, but I'm just going to say this straight up. The reason you're not growing on Instagram is because you're just not posting. That is straight up it. If you post, the people in this room who are going to grow on Instagram are the people who post. And the people who are going to grow the most are the people who post the most regularly. Now, you sometimes hear people saying you need to post 2 or 3 times a day. You don't. But you do really need to post every single day. I know that's not music to anyone's ears, and I haven't even really included this in the slides, but really that is it. If you were just to take one thing that I speak about here is to post regularly. And I am going to come on to this. I'm going way off piece here. But the truth is, if you post regularly, what you gain is insights into what your audience actually like. Okay, that's really what it's all about. You'll post, and you'll see what happens, especially if you post reels. This is another thing. I'm going off piece here. Don't worry about photo content. It's all about reels, especially on Instagram. You post, and you'll just know what does well. Instagram will show it to more people. You'll get more views. You'll get more likes. And you'll go, there's something about that post my audience liked. And so really what you want to do is find those posts and then kind of hone in on what it was about that post you posted that did well. Like Fez talked about the one about the menopause. Well, at that point, I'd say to him, how long was that post? What were you wearing? Was there music in the background? Were you cracking jokes? Was it more serious? Was it more sympathetic? What was it about the topic of menopause? Now what I want you to do is go and do 2 weeks worth of posts, testing all the different things you think it might have been that did well about that post. We're going to do more about menopause. We're going to talk about different subjects. We're going to teach the same camera angles, different camera angles, and we're going to deep dive into what it was about that one post that did well. And then at the end of those 2 weeks, we're now going to look at those posts and see which ones did really well in there. We've got more clues. We're beginning to get our finger on the pulse of what actually works. And you deep dive, and eventually what happens is your audience tell you what they want from you. And that's really what's going on. It's like your audience are carving out of you what they want. Right. I mean, I haven't put any of this in the slide, but that's really it, okay? Let's do the slide now. Right, grow a huge audience. So, so first things first, I create kind of very eye-catching, very hooky content that also brings value. So it grabs their attention, and then it gives them some sort of value. That's what I do most of the time, and as most of you know, because I spoke yesterday, I have an account where I teach people DJ tricks and tips, right? But really, my high-ticket offer is teaching people how to produce music. So what I'm doing is I'm giving them tips, I'm being useful, I'm not really selling to them at all, and then once a week, I will sell. So I'll do 1 reel a week where I sell, and I do 1 post on my stories where I sell. So that's it. It's really just like once a week. And I do it in a specific way, which I'm going to tell you about in a second. Okay, and I commented on this yesterday as well. The way I do it is I don't actually sell. What I do is I just tell people what I do. So on my stories, I'll just say, this is what I do. I take DJs who have never made music before in their lives. I teach them in 6 months how to get a record label. And then I just bombard them with testimonials. That, I'm telling you now, is the most amazing way to sell. You don't try and convince them. You just say, this is what I do. And then you have a string of all the people you've worked with saying, yeah, he did it. He did it. I've got a record label now. I've got a record label now. I've got a record label now. And then, like, after you do this for so long, I mean, something you've got to bear in mind, people don't really need selling to a lot of the time. They just need reminding. And I think we forget that sometimes. You just want to be that person in the market that does that thing and you're known for it. Kind of goes back to what I was talking about yesterday, 1 funnel, 1 thing. I just want to be known for being that guy you go to if you want to learn how to make pro dance music. And that's it. I just remind people that's what I do constantly. So how have I grown? So on Instagram, I've got something like 420,000 followers. On YouTube, I've got 350, and on TikTok, I've got something like 100. Now, I really just focus on Instagram, and I take every post, and I just go and post it on YouTube. I have a VA that does this for me. There's probably some clever AI automated stuff that can do this for you. But I basically say, download what I put on Instagram, repost it on TikTok, repost it on YouTube, and those audiences just grow, and I don't even really look at them. I haven't been on TikTok in months, and it just grows because my content's constantly on there. Now, what I do, I don't really think I invented this, but I basically do this thing called hook stacking. So, what is a hook? A hook is something that's going to grab people's attention. This could be a multiple of things. It could be, sometimes you see people like building Jenga and they're talking at the camera, or they're on their scooter while they're talking to you. Anything slightly unusual that stops you scrolling is a hook. A lot of people, and you will get amazing results just using one, by the way. I try to use 5 in every single one of my posts. So, here's an example of when I post. If you go and follow me, at Phil Harris Music, you're going to see me do this in every single post, but I'm just going to run you through. So, often what I'm doing is I'm teaching DJ tricks and tips, and what I do is I take a viral DJ clip, and then I break it down and tell people how it was done. So straight away, you see me standing in front of my DJ deck. So straight away, they know I'm going to be talking about something DJ related. To the right-hand side of me, and I suppose you could say that's a hook as well, standing in front of DJ decks. It's kind of like, it's better than me just sitting on a stool or in a couch somewhere. Like that's a hook. Then to the right of me is the clip that is running that I'm about to talk about. So that in itself is a hook. If you're watching Instagram and there's a little clip of another reel here, you know the person in the frame is about to talk about that. And the beauty of this is you end up watching that entire reel, waiting to see what the person is going to say about the reel. So it keeps that engagement. This is another thing, again, it's not in the slide, but really, once you've hooked people, you want to give them a reason to hang around, which is why this works really well. And any one of you can steal that straight away. Take someone famous in your space, take some of their reels, and play them next to you, and then comment on what they're doing. I've seen people go viral just having someone else's reel there, drinking a cup of coffee, and just nodding along. Like, they don't even comment on it, you know? So you can steal that one straight away. Now, I do other things as well. Put a title at the top. Again, you can use hooky title. You can just say straight up, I disagree, or tip on this thing you're going to talk about. But often I'll put things like, I was wrong. You know, it's like, again, it's a hook. Well, what are you wrong about? I will then do other things as well. So one thing you'll see me do a lot is I'm often pouring a glass of milk over my DJ decks. One thing DJs are like neurotic about is having drinks spilt on their DJ decks. So seeing another DJ stand there pouring, and I'll really take the piss. Like I'll be like, whoa, like this. And sometimes I'll pour it really high as well. I'll do things I know are just, it's getting under their skin. It's yet another hook. And the milk thing, everybody kind of knows me as the guy who pours milk over his DJ decks now. But I did it in the same way I was talking about fairs. One day I just poured a glass of milk. I was like, what unusual thing can I do with my hands? And one clip I was drinking a cup of coffee, and that worked quite well. And I was like, I wonder if I could actually poured the cup of coffee. And so I had a kettle, and then I had milk, and then the milk one went viral. And I was like, okay, I'm now the milk guy. So I just did the milk thing all the time. Another hook. So I'm often doing something. Then you'll also see me wearing unusual clothing, right? It's not that unusual here, but I often wear like high hats, weird hats, high-vis stuff, bright pink hats. If I ever see a weird hat anywhere, I just buy it straight away because I'm like, that's going straight in. I went to a charity shop once and there was like an owl hat. I was like, that's it. I'm now wearing that in the next 20 videos. And I just put this stuff on. Now, I know a lot of you are sitting there cringing, going, there's no way I'm going to wear an owl hat, and that's fine. You don't have to. I'm just giving you an example of yet another hook. And then even in the title, it's not actually here, but on different views on Instagram, you see the title, like the description. The first line of my description would also say something hooky. I can't believe this worked. Fire emoji, fire emoji, fire emoji. So like there's hooks from every angle. It's really important, this. And then when it comes to actually selling, I use those same formats. So I'll often be commenting on a video. So say, for example, if I'm going to pitch me talking about making dance music, there'll be a clip of Avicii playing Levels for the first time, like his biggest hit. And I'm standing there drinking my coffee. And then what I end up doing is saying, like, the reason he's on those stages is because Levels took off, not because he's incredible behind the DJ decks. If you want to learn how to make your own dance music so you could potentially make your own Levels one day, you want to work with me, link in my bio, or apply to work with me in my bio, or whatever the hook is, the call to action. So I still follow that same format. Oh, I'm running out of time here. So I do that, and then, or you can use physical prompts. This is another one you can steal straight away. This one works brilliantly every single time. A big whiteboard, the topic at the top, so it's the same kind of thing. It has the title. And I'll have 4 or 5 points where, and you can all use this in your industry, and you have something, like in this example here, no one's dancing equals, boring DJ set equals. And this works. You have to do this. Just cut cardboard out. Don't try and make it neat. Make it look like you've thrown it together. There's something about the cheapness of just having cardboard taped over what you're about to talk about that works. And I open it up, I rip it off, I talk about the thing. Rip it off, talk about the thing. What it is it's a hook. But what the beauty of it is that it keeps people watching till the end. I've got 30 seconds. So, in a nutshell, post every single day, double down on that, stack hooks. If I was going to give you a playbook, wear something unexpected, use weird camera angles, but film yourself from up here just for one of the things. Just use an unusual angle, move in unusual ways, film while you're jogging, driving, stack headlines, layer content over it, pour a cup of milk, play Jenga, etc. That's it. I would go and do that, but the most important thing is post every single day. And that's it.
Amazing.
Done. Thank you.
All right, give it up for Phil.
To the wire.
So good. Well, there's some tips in there, yeah? Good, helpful stuff. If you're wondering if it actually works, I mean, it does. I've been watching him do this for a year or two, and if you just want to kill some time, like really go and follow him and just scroll through. It just gets funnier and funnier and funnier. He's got some where he's just got Lidl's like sliders on, and he's just showing his little sliders, high-vis jackets. Macklemore with his big furry coat. He's got one where he's doing it's just hilarious, but he gets millions of views, and they do turn into clients. It's absolutely incredible. Okay, next topic. How many of you in the room already know that your potential clients are on LinkedIn? How many of you already know that they could be there? Awesome, hands down. How many of you think they might be, but you're not sure, and you're certainly not sure how to use LinkedIn properly? Anyone? Okay, awesome. That's exactly what we're going to cover in this next session. We're going to go into all things LinkedIn, how you can set yourself up right, position yourself right, and start landing clients on this platform in particular. So please put your hands together for Matt Hodkinson.
Thank you, John. Good morning, all. So I'm going to ask for a hand raise as well. Who has a profile on LinkedIn right now? Okay, and keep your hand raised if you would consider yourself an active user of LinkedIn. Okay, keep your hand up and just give me a little wave because I'm super nervous and it will help. Thank you. Fantastic. Right, I'm going to give you 5 fast fixes for LinkedIn. I'm not one of those LinkedIn gurus. I haven't got a LinkedIn program to sell you. I'm a daily user of LinkedIn. I use it for my business where I help consultancies to differentiate and better position themselves in their market. And I have used these 5 things to really amplify what I'm doing. It works, and it can absolutely work for any one of you. First off, why? I mean, LinkedIn has over 1 billion users, and a hell of a lot of those, something like 61 million of them, are active decision makers. And there's still a whole bunch of other users who have an active influence on the buying decision. So it's a fantastic way to reach people. It's also very, very targeted. But here's the kicker. Only 1% of LinkedIn users post weekly. We've got Phil talking about posting daily on Instagram, but only 1% of users on LinkedIn are posting once a week. It's not saturated. I hear so many people saying LinkedIn is dead, we've missed the boat on LinkedIn. It is wide open. It's absolutely wide open. And if you think that it's a B2B proposition only, then you're wrong. In fact, some of the best incoming sort of cold DMs that I get are with B2C propositions, are from the likes of Fez, PTs that are targeting stressed out, busy professionals, executives, business owners that they know just don't have the time to get down to the gym, to go for the run, to lift the weights, and they know that they always grab a bite on the move, so they're not eating healthily either. It's a fantastic way to reach your audience, B2B or B2C. So here are those 5 fixes that I'm going to talk about today. First off, I want to briefly talk about your profile. It's your landing page. It's an opportunity to convert people. Content, talking about edutainment and flipping the script a little bit on how you are putting posts and content out into the world on LinkedIn. Comments and how they are the visibility opportunity beyond your own content. Outreach, taking that generous approach, and ads for amplification. And I'm going to fly through this because I'm going to have to. So fix number 1, turn your profile into a conversion opportunity. It's a landing page, and that's the way to really think about it. I'm going to give you 3 little areas to focus on to really turn your profile into a conversion page rather than just a bit of a CV. So first off is that headline. That's the first thing that's going to grab people's attention. That's where you should be sharing your promise. What is the big vision that you've got for your ideal clients? What's the thing that you're going to deliver? Put that out there. In my case, stand out, win more, market less. The headline there is the hook. We've heard from the previous speakers about the importance of hooks. Hooks seems to be a theme. There's a reason for it. It hooks people. That's the kind of thing it does. And then the about is where you can tell your story. Anyone who's heard Adam Stott speak? Who's heard Adam Stott before? Yeah, he talks about the brand origin story. It's a fantastic place to put that. That's where you can really say, you know, this is where I've come from. I've been in the trenches with you. This is the transformation I've been on. I'm going to take you on that journey as well. Content. I talked about edutainment. I want you to post like Netflix, not like a professor. What do I mean by that? I think too many people are lecturing others when they create content online. They're saying, you're doing it wrong, you need to be doing it like this. And the reality is we need to really entertain people as well. So I want you to use this show framework to really amplify the impact of your content. First off, tell a story. These aren't in the right order, by the way, because you'll see the second one is hook. That's what really needs to come first. But tell a story. Get into that storytelling mode to really have people lean in and really ask what you're up to. The hook earns the attention. I'm not going to go all over that again. Opinion or observation. This is the thing that I think people are shying away from on LinkedIn, is being controversial, you know, saying something different that flies in the face of normal convention. Be brave and say something that really does go against the grain, and that's what's going to get you the attention. It's what's going to get people, again, leaning in and listening to your story. And then what next? Provide a great call to action that gets them into that next mode. And that's not typically about booking a call. It's quite a, it's a big commitment to that stage. But if it's getting people to your webinar, getting people to some sort of, whether it's pre-recorded, whether it's a lead magnet that you've got to offer that can really help, that's a great way to take that next step. And then, this is just a sort of pro tip, really. Have an idea about what your themes are going to be when it comes to your posts, and even go so far as naming them. The foghorn post, you're announcing something. You've got a new lead magnet. You've got an event coming up, whatever it might be. The Ghostbuster post, telling people how they can really pattern interrupt and get people to respond where they might have ghosted you in the past. And then lastly, the receipt drop. A win, a case study, a story of success that you've caused recently. Comments are the new content. We've already heard from the Instagram guys about the power of leveraging other people's audience and tagging influencers, getting into there. And, of course, the borrow it mindset of using other people's stages. So here's the 3 steps when it comes to commenting on other people's threads and other people's content, because that's a great way to grow beyond your own first line. Follow 5 creators that your audience follows. Chances are somebody has the ear of your audience already. Let's leverage them. Leave 5 thoughtful comments every day. Again, I'm going to add to the to-do list that Phil's just given you. 5 comments every day, but here's the beauty of it. Things like ChatGPT can really help now, and they'll give you those comments if you just give it the link to the post and say, I want to say something really thoughtful, really thought-invoking, what can I say? And then repurpose the best comments as posts of your own. If something gets a lot of engagement, a lot of response, that's the social proof that you need to amplify that. And much in the same way as we've heard, you can boost those Instagram posts. You can do the same thing with LinkedIn. And just my comment there, be the best dinner guest, not the loudest speaker. It's not about just throwing as much as you can out there and hoping what sticks. It's about being the interesting person in the room. Outreach that doesn't feel gross, because a lot of it does. Especially the cold outreach. I get pitch slapped all the time on LinkedIn. Does anybody get those connection requests where they're pitching their wares in the first message? They're proposing on the first date. Don't be that guy or girl. So here's how to flip it up. This is a fictional message to John on LinkedIn. So first off, start with a compliment. People love having their egos stroked. So I think in this instance, saw your post on how great positioning unlocks sales for coaches and consultants. Brilliant. And then we follow up with give something useful. And this actually kind of spans the next 2 bits. People in this space often go deep on solution and don't speak nearly enough to the pains and challenges that their ICP faces. And then a low-friction next step. Want a 3-step positioning and differentiation fix I use with clients? Happy to share. And just leave it at that. We don't need links to book a call. We don't need links to landing pages. People have this magic ability to hit that reply button and message you. We don't need to make them jump through hoops. And then this is a pro tip. Right. Zag when everybody else is zigging. Here's a really tactical opportunity for you. The LinkedIn mobile app allows you to send voice notes to people in their DMs. A lot of you will know about this, but very, very few people are using this. I don't get voice notes. I would say in the last 6 months, I've probably received 2. And yet, it's a fantastic pattern interrupt. Someone gets that voice note in their message. This is the reaction that you get. You send a text message, you get a 10 to 25% response rate. You send a voice note, and it can be as high as 40%. And it's just a lot of fun to do as well. Okay, lastly, fix number 5, ads amplify what already works. As I say, you can boost some of those comments and posts that you create, that you've seen social proof happening for. Now, LinkedIn ads have got a bunch of formats available to you. There's some great ones for just putting it into the feed of your ideal clients or in the sidebar, and you can even personalize that so they'll see their profile picture alongside that ad. So again, that's a pattern interrupt. People are going to be drawn to that because it's them. Here's the one I would encourage you to look into in a big way, sponsored messaging. I think this is underutilized. I can't tell the full story because I'm looking at the timer, but I used this in my previous agency that I sold a few years ago to get bums on seats in a London seminar, a breakfast seminar I used to run. And it used to cost us about £30 total per bum on a seat for marketing directors, decision makers in the room. And the return on investment for that was thousands to one because of the lifetime value that we were selling at the time. You can drop a message into somebody's inbox quite comfortably for around about 15 to 20 pence. And you can get as high as a 70% open rate. That's what I got. So have a look at that. Right, here's a bonus fix, and I'm about to put a QR code on screen. This is the most unique QR code you will see at the whole of AdCon. There it is. If you scan that, you're going to get taken to a PDF which shows you this center of influence strategy for getting specific on how you can get referrals from your network on LinkedIn. Now, here's why it's different. Those of you that have just scanned that, you'll be viewing it through the proxy of LinkedIn via something called Smart Links. If you pay for the Premium Sales Navigator, you'll get access to this. It's a tracking link. I will get notified with your name for everybody that scanned that just now. Don't worry, I'm not going to spam you. So you can rest safe. That's my time up. Thank you so much. Go and use LinkedIn.
Amazing. Fantastic. Great stuff.
Buddy.
Get some valuable tips, yeah? Fantastic. Should we keep going? Good stuff. So we're going to move on to YouTube now, because I shared earlier that YouTube is one of my preferred platforms because I like the way you can create content on there. We're really starting to build momentum. We're starting to have some big revenue months, topping up the company's revenue. It's really fun. It finds great people. And it's an awesome platform. And the thing that I particularly like about YouTube is it stood the test of time. It's been, I mean, I got my start on YouTube, as I mentioned yesterday, as I shared my story. I literally got my start over 10 years ago on YouTube, and the core principles haven't changed. Do the right things on the platform, and YouTube wants to promote you. There are other platforms where it's harder organically because they're trying to demote you. All right? You're like fighting to have your stuff seen, and the platform is trying to suppress your content so that you pay for ads. YouTube is one of the only platforms that doesn't do that. You give them great content that their users will like, they will support you by growing your account. That being said, we have one only imposter up here on the roster, because he's not our expansion member. He's actually my content director who manages all of the stuff we're doing on our YouTube channel, and he's going to break down in 10 minutes how you can get some great results there too. So please give it up for Pete Earl.
All right. Thank you. So 10 minutes and a lot of YouTube stuff to get through. So I want to talk about optimizing your content for both growth and revenue, because I think this is a real big struggle that most people find. You try and grow your audience, and then you get no clients from it. And then you try and grow your clients from YouTube, and then no one sees your content. And so you want to try and find a nice middle ground. And we've been doing this for a long time, like 6 years now. The YouTube channel is something that has been my baby for a really long time, and it's sucked. It has sucked. Like the first 5 years was no growth and no revenue. That's just the reality of it, because we didn't know what I'm going to hopefully teach you in this presentation. Okay, but in the last 6 months, we made 30 videos, generated 10,000 subscribers, and nearly $250,000. Okay, and it's because of what I think these 3 things that I'm going to break down for you. Now, it's only 3 because this last time I did this presentation, it was 1 hour and 45 minutes. And so 10 minutes is really, really hard. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is lead magnets. We all know what lead magnets are, right? Okay, it can be a VSL, it can be a webinar, it can be a challenge funnel, it can be a tripwire funnel, it can be anything. Okay, but not all lead magnets are created equally when it comes to YouTube. We've tested. We put webinars on YouTube. We put VSLs on YouTube. We've put, you name it, every kind of lead magnet on YouTube to try and bring people from that channel into our email list. And nothing has worked quite as well as physical, not actually physical, you're sending them digitally, but actual bite-sized pieces of content that you break down a specific topic. Okay, so any of you guys seen the ones that we have? Hands up if you've seen these kind of ones before. Yeah, cool. We've got tons of them because they work so well. Okay, and so we've got ones on webinars. We've got some on sales. We've got some on scripts. We've got some on lead generation cheat sheets. We've got some on a business viability checklist. It's always one that John can never say on camera. Okay, can't quite get the words out. And so we got tons of these ones that we use in every single one of our YouTube videos. Okay, so if you went to our YouTube channel right now, every single video you see, somewhere in that video, we will plug one of these. And what's fantastic about these is that it's such a soft call to action. It's not come and join a free training. It's not book a call with me. It's, do you want more value on top of the value I'm already providing you? Do you want it for free, as well as the value I'm providing you now? And it works so, so well. Okay, and so people spend so long on our YouTube channel and download every single one of these every single time. I don't know, it doesn't quite make sense, but we find the same people download them every time on every video, so they're getting the same one over and over again. But it shows how much they're loving it. They've forgotten they even got it last week, and so they're re-downloading it again. And these are so, so, so powerful. So you can see in every single video, we are putting them on there. And so what I recommend is creating one of these, if not a couple of these. And there's a couple of things you can do with these to make them even more powerful. One thing I do is I like to plan one of our videos around the lead magnet. Okay, so quick example, top one in the middle, a high-ticket webinar framework. A lot of you in the room have probably seen that, okay? We have this video here is done so, so, so well, and all it is John taking you through the lead magnet. And at the beginning saying, by the way, I'm going to be breaking down this entire document I want to give you for free. Just download it now, and we can go along with it together. And my goodness, the clients that we get from this video, phenomenal. Okay, because they've shown they want to take action, they show they want to go through it. So you can plan content around the lead magnets. And so you've already kind of 2 birds with 1 stone, create an idea and also the lead as well. When you're planning these as well, try and have a call to action in the first, for us, 4 to 5 minutes of a video. That's our average watch time of a video currently. When it gets higher, I'll put the call to action a little bit later. Essentially, try and find what your ideal length is within your YouTube content and put a call to action there. And so therefore, you want to kind of script your content or bullet point your content out to make sure that the training point you're talking about in that 4 to 5 minute realm has something to do with the lead magnet that you are going to be offering. Get a physical copy made. Get a physical copy made. If you can hold it up, people say, that's real. And so they download it, genuinely. Like we have noticed that more people are interested in downloading this when they see that it's actually a real thing, even though they get sent the digital version. Okay? Have these links everywhere. Every single one of your videos on YouTube have every single lead magnet you have, whether it's relevant or not. Okay? The top of all of our YouTube videos in the description, we have the piece of content or the lead magnet that they want from the video. And then we have the 20, I mean, there's only a few there, but then we have the 20 other links. Genuinely, more often than not, someone downloads the top one and downloads the other 20. Because they see the top one, they love it, and they say, I want more of them. And so what other topics is John talking about today? Okay? I think I missed one. Don't be afraid to remake content around them. That high-ticket webinar framework, we have probably made that same video 10 times, but just tried different angles to bring different audiences in to grab that content. Okay? And so that's okay. You're still providing a ton of content, a ton of value, but we're finding different niches and different industries in order to get them. And then one last one I have here is I was talking to our sales director, Courtney, and these kind of leads that are coming in work really, really well if you try and bring up a conversation about the lead magnet afterwards. So he recommended, so this isn't my content, this bit here is from Courtney, so thank you, mate. He recommended create a support@yourcompany.com email and reach out to them after and ask, and say you're a team member, and ask, how have you found that? Very similar to how we were talking about on Instagram. Okay? So the next thing we'll talk about, the generalist rule. Okay? Anyone heard of Brendan Kane? He's everywhere on Instagram. Fantastic guy. Okay, we worked with his team, and he taught me this, and I think it works really, really well for YouTube and loads of other pieces of content on different platforms as well. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Imagine this is everyone on YouTube. Okay, and this little slither here is your ideal customers. Okay. By the way, when we're talking about the generalist rule, this is how to come up with content, because that's one of the hardest bits of YouTube, actually sitting down, what am I going to say? Okay, so you want to try and find those people in that blue slither, and so you make a piece of content, and you want to get those people, so you make a piece of content directly for those people, and YouTube says, cool, I'm going to go test that with 1,000 people maybe, and you put it out there, and your slither of a very small slither already is even smaller now, and they say, not many people are liking this, because they're putting it out to the test audience, and really no one wants to watch it, because you're trying to make content for that tiny little green bit, all right? No one's watching it. Okay, and so guess what they do? They stop running it, and so that's why when you try and make content to get clients, more often than not, you get a couple hundred views, maybe even less. Okay? Whereas if we flip it on its head, and let's say we make content for a wider audience, and YouTube goes and tests it, and so the wider audience still include your tiny little yellow bit, okay? But it includes a wider audience as well. Most people like it. YouTube go, oh, people are liking this one. Damn, all right, cool. Let's test it with more people. Oh my word, they're still liking it. Let's test it with more people. Let's test it with more people. And you get to the point where because you made content not for your audience and not for your ideal customer, you've actually found loads of other people, got more views, and still found your ideal audience. And even better still, you've brought more people into your audience. People who had never clicked on your video now are thinking, it's pretty darn cool. You know what? Now I'm in their ideal audience. I'm going to watch more of their content. And so actually that little, not so little now, the yellow part is going to grow over time. And that's what we've noticed. The more content we're making, the more we try and make content for a wider audience, the more clients we're getting from YouTube. It's insane. A good example of doing this when you're coming up with content, the title, the thumbnail, these kind of things. Example here, if you need to make $9,000 in 3 days, watch this. Did phenomenally well a couple of weeks ago, 71,000 views. Don't really know what it's about. It's a wide audience. Most of you, anyone in the room want to make $9,000 in 3 days? It's a wide, no one. Wow, okay, cool. It's a wide audience, right? And so you'd think that you're not going to get clients from that, but actually, the content is about creating a high-ticket offer, selling on a webinar, and closing on the phone. And so all the right people came in and watched it. It went out, and YouTube was like, people were loving this. They sent it out there, and all the people booking calls with us and downloading the lead magnet that, by the way, was pitched 4 to 5 minutes into this video, are then becoming clients, and they're still watching the content, okay? Any of you like that one? That was really helpful for me when I discovered that. And then, oh, thank you very much. All right. The last one for my last 2 minutes is end screen videos. Anyone who's made YouTube content, you know your last 20 seconds, you can kind of link to different videos and things like that, right? Okay? And so the first thing you definitely want to be doing, ignore the red arrow. The first thing you want to be doing is the other one, without the red arrow. You absolutely always want to link to other pieces of content. You want to keep them in a content loop, watching everything that you do. Now you can look at the red arrow. The one you also really want to do is that one. Okay? This has been instrumental. It is phenomenal how well that has worked. And this is this 3 minutes, 40-second video, which is unlisted on our YouTube channel. And it's John saying, hey, so you've watched my content, you've come over, you found this video, and you want to work with me and my team? Well, let me tell you what that's like, and actually you can book a call. It's a 3-minute sales video. And it's unlisted, and it's at the end of every single one of our YouTube videos. And so all the people, and by the way, yeah, proof, by the way, it's on every single one of our YouTube videos, every single one of the people who are getting to the end and clicking on that video are insanely valuable. They have spent hours on our content. They see a video on a piece of content they love. They've got all the way to the end, which is already an amazing thing. They've got all the way to the end, and they see a video that says, would you like to work with me and my team? And they click on that. They watch it for 3 minutes. It is phenomenal. So in the last 6 months, only 832 people have watched that. Okay, it doesn't feel like a lot, but my goodness, I think we're getting, I'm going to pull this number out of middle of nowhere, but I think it's around 10 to 20 people a month straight from this video booking calls, and so many of those credit card ready, man. Like, they are just ready already. Like, they don't need selling. They don't need to be convinced that we can do it for them, because they're already like, I have spent hours with John already. He is my best friend. I know he's going to get me there, and so please let me work with you. It is so, so amazing. And I don't see anyone doing this, by the way. I don't see anyone having a sales video on every single one of their YouTube videos, okay? And so that's me. You've already learned lead magnets, generalist rule, end screen video. Thank you very much.
Great stuff. Awesome. Well done. Some more good tips? Yeah? Fantastic. Well, one more final presentation. We talked about some buy it stuff. I shared that this morning. We've talked about some build it strategies. How many of you would like to learn how to add the borrow it strategies into your business? Give me a big yes. Awesome. That's what we're going to go into right now. I've asked Kirsty Carden to share what she's doing to position herself correctly so that when opportunity arises, she becomes the obvious choice, and then how she capitalizes on those opportunities to get in front of other people's audiences and land clients. It's going to be awesome. So please put your hands together for Kirsty Carden.
So who would like a traffic source that doesn't cost you a penny? Raise your hand. Surely it should be everyone, right? Yeah? And how many of you, after being here for the last couple of days, are curious about how you can get on stages like this, like amazing stages like AdCon? Raise your hand. Yeah? Amazing. So today I'm going to be speaking about how you can borrow it, so how you can get traffic from borrowed audiences. Were you here for AdCon last time? Make some noise if you were here last year. So I spoke last year. Again, organic strategies is my thing, and I spoke about how you can make sales and get traffic from social media. Today I'm going to be speaking about just this, how you can do what I'm doing right now and actually speak and borrow other people's audiences. So don't have much time, so we're going to get stuck straight in. So why is it so powerful when you do this? Well, firstly, there's an instant trust transfer. So when you speak on someone else's audience, you trust John, I come on stage, you're more likely to trust me because you already have that trust for John. When you start doing it on different platforms, you are building it up from scratch. It doesn't have to cost. It can be completely free, so you get really high profit margins. You get to access your dream audience. So there are already people who have your dream audience, but they don't serve them with the things that you are doing. So you can actually go and find those audiences and get access to them straight away. And one of the biggest things is there's a big credibility boost. So it really 10x's all the things that everyone's talking about here today. Because whether it's ads, whether it's organic, social media posts, any of these things, when you're speaking on other people's platforms, people are like, oh, someone's interested in what they say. Someone's getting them on their stage. People are coming to their events. So there's that instant credibility boost when you're doing these things. And I can tell you, especially the Stephen Bartlett image, whenever I post these things, they go viral. They do so much better because people are actually interested. And you're doing it with people that people already know, right? And they already trust. So where can you find these audiences? Podcasts, webinars, virtual stages, live stages. One of my favorites is paid communities. When you go to paid communities, memberships, masterminds, group programs, things like this, at live events, you've already got an invested audience. So, they're much more likely to convert for you as well. But if you're going to start with anything, start with people that you already know and you already have relationships with. So let me tell you a little bit about how I ended up on AdCon last year. I'll tell you in a minute how I ended up again. But it's about building authentic relationships. I got recommended to John when he was looking for a speaker that did what I did by multiple different people. I know one of them was Kennedy. Does anyone remember Kennedy from last year? Make some noise? Yeah, Kennedy's amazing. So Kennedy's great at this too. So me and Kennedy have been friends since 2018. And he found me on LinkedIn, Matt's strategy, sent me a really nice non-spammy message and invited me to be on his podcast. I've since been on his stage. He's been on my stage. And we're just really good friends. Actually, he sent me the most amazing message before 7 a.m. this morning to do with today. So he's lovely. So authentic relationships is really key, because when you do an event, especially something like this, you'll find that everyone, their mum, their dad, their dog will message you and try and be on your stage. When really you want people that you can trust and that you know are going to do a good job. So how do you get on other people's platforms? Engage authentically, number one. It's super important. Just like Matt was saying about those spammy DMs on LinkedIn, they don't work, do they? They turn us off. So we really want to make sure it's actual authentic engagement. Having something complimentary. So if I had pitched myself to AdCon and I'd said to John, John, I'd really love to speak about webinars and how I can use YouTube ad traffic to get on to help people with webinars. He would have said no, because that's what I do, right? It needs to complement. It needs to make sense, all right? So when you're thinking about people, how can you complement what they're doing? You don't want it to be a conflict. You want it to complement. Super important. Add value. It's all about adding value. So if you start by adding value, just like the example of when Kennedy first contacted me, he invited me to his podcast. He's adding value, so you want to be adding value to what you do. And one great way, and this links to what I spoke about last time, is to build your own platform, because you can create mutual exchanges. Your platform is an asset, okay? Your email list, your followers, all of those things. Again, I know when I spoke at AdCon, I said to John, I'll share it with my audience. My audience will be really interested in that. And then people came through. He actually gave me an affiliate link, which was really nice of him. I was going to do it for free. So I actually made some money out of it. But, you can actually use that as an asset. So you can be like, look, I can get more people to your event. So, do build your audience too, because it is an asset when you want to feature on other people's platforms. Definitely when I started out, a lot of the things that I did was about mutual exchange. You feature on my platform, I feature on yours, all right? And have professional footage of you speaking and a framework and an actual talk. That kind of goes without saying. This is stuff I teach my clients, but it's really important because people are going to want to see you speaking and they're going to want to know what you speak about. And you need to have some type of framework as well that you're actually going to be teaching people. Now, pay to play, but not in the conventional way. Okay, so what do I mean by this? So giving an affiliate fee. So just like I gave the example with John, actually, someone's spent a lot of time and money and energy building up that audience, okay? If you're going to go and take clients from them, I think it's a nice thing to actually, give back. I have a really amazing partnership that I've formed with Jill, who's in this picture. I spoke earlier in the month at her community. I've done it a few times now, where I do something very complimentary. They do these one-off events, but they don't give people additional support with their speaking, with their sales, all that stuff I do. So we've got a really great partnership now. When I go and speak for her communities, online, in person, people then sign up with me. And again, I did the same thing John did with me. She never asked for it, but I said to her, look, if people sign up for me after I've done my talk, then I will give you a 20% commission for anyone who signs up. So it's great for her and it's great for me, And again, we've had a long-term relationship. She's come to a lot of my events. We've built that so we really trust each other. The other one is to just join masterminds and mentorships. I can't stress that enough, that it's always about trusting people, right? You are who you spend your time with. One of the reasons that I'm back on this stage now is because I joined John's mastermind expansion in the autumn. So John really gets to know me, understand what I do. So when there are opportunities, he can go, great. Kirsty's going to be great for that, or I can recommend her. And it's from a really authentic place. I know a lot of the stages and things that I've done has been from masterminds and mentorships that I'm in. So really, really, that valuable thing, it's kind of a secondary gain. You go there for learning and all those amazing things, but actually a secondary gain is that people really get to know you, invested in you, and you get opportunities like this. Bonus thing. So the bonus thing is that gets me 50% plus conversions. So we might think about other people's audiences, but we're always going to be sharing those with other people. They're great for leads. You can get sales from them. But the thing that works the best for me, and I've done this since 2017, is to do my own small events. Hands down, one of the best things for really high conversions for me. And also, it's that mutual exchange, right? If you start to do events, you can show footage. You can also have people feature at your events. So if I just show you like a picture here, the top right one, that one event that you can see there, there's less than 30 people there. I made £200,000 from that one event with zero marketing spend, like no cost at all. People paid £400. Thank you. People paid £200 to be there, £400 to be there. So there was no cost in anything. You know, I marketed it all organically. That's my talk from last year. I told you about how I do that. And then people come and work with me because people get to actually experience you. And it's not hard to set up these small events. So again, bottom right, 75% of the people signed up, and then the other two was around 50%. So it's really high conversions when people get to actually experience you in a room. So I really want you to think about that, as in, like, you don't have to create something huge like this, but actually having a platform, having an event of your own where you can take people to is a great way of actually making those higher conversions and creating those connections. If you're not sure where to start, I've got a resource that I've created that can help you. It will literally tell you what you need to do. So if you follow me, I haven't put a QR code or anything, but if you follow me at Kirsty Carden on Instagram, if you're not already, my team will send that out to you, and it will show you how you can get your next speaking opportunity and actually give you a score of exactly where you are now and exactly what you need to do next. And then the last thing really is, you know, you are just one connection, one opportunity, one bold move away from everything changing. I know when I spoke at AdCon last year, that was a game changer for me. Not only for like how my business went and the relationships I've formed since, but also the direction that I wanted to take my business in. But it's all about just saying yes, looking for those opportunities and actually making those moves. And you don't know which one's really going to change your business. So that's it from me.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Great stuff. Fantastic.